Ocala.
All right, 26 minutes before 10 o'clock. I'm reading the clock backwards. I can remember when this mall wasn't here. I can remember going to school across the street when it was Central Florida Community College. It was really a small school. Not that it was a bad school, but it was a small school. And I can remember going to that school, and a lot of the students who went there at that time, I'll go ahead and reveal my age. This was in the early 70s, so it goes way back. But I can remember the discussion about the jobs that we were all hoping to get once we were out of school. And a lot of the people were saying, well, I'm going to get a job in Boston. I'm going to get a job in Atlanta. And it's like, wow, there's really not much here. But there is now. That has changed a lot. I mean, it's a lot of years have passed by. And we've learned so much more than I even realized. I mean, I knew there was more work here, but I didn't realize how great some of the jobs were. We've been learning this every time the folks from Career Source come here. Laura Burns is usually the one who's here, but Dale French is here with us again today. And so let's start with Dale. He is the Director of Training for Career Source, and we're going to learn about some jobs. Good morning, Dale. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you. Yeah, it is really true. I mean, the landscape of Ocala has changed in the years I've been here. It was a lot of years, but the growth happened, and it happened for the better. I mean, students now can work here, which is I mean, graduated students is. Yeah. Well, even students trying to earn a living while they're going to school, and so many more educational opportunities as well. So it all kind of works, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Ocala has grown. One of the things that we like to see are the graduates, whether they're coming out of the College of Central Florida or even other colleges and universities around Florida, coming back and working in our area.
Yeah.
We hate to see the good talent leave for other markets, and over the last 5-6 years, we've certainly had our challenges in Marion County, but that is coming back. So there are opportunities out there.
And I think your role as a magnet for that talent is outstanding. I can't tell you how many people have come in here, they're just knocking on doors looking for work, and ever since finding out what Career Source does, you're the ones we mentioned. We said, go to Career Source. They've got a lot of jobs over there. So
we do. We work with a lot of businesses, and we're always looking for new and fresh talent. And our job listings change every day. The businesses we work with change every day.
Yeah.
So there are certainly opportunities out there.
So before we go to your guests today, can you tell me real quickly, is it like it was? I guess it's not like it was when I was younger. I mean, do I sit across the desk from somebody, or do I do this on a computer? How do I work with Career Source?
You can do it. You can do it virtually online. We've got a lot of training modules and assessments online that you can do, but we do specialize in meeting with individuals face to face. Our career specialists can sit down with our job seekers, talk about their unique skill sets, run them through some assessments, and try to help them identify the occupations or jobs which would best fit their interest and skills. So it is, while we have gone to a digital world, in most parts we find that it is still best to sit down face to face, talk with somebody, and really get a feel for that person and what they're interested in doing.
Now, the listeners who are interested in jobs are doing two things. They're listening, and they're making note of what we talk about today so they can share the video that we're making today with their friends and people who might benefit from the information. So who do we have today? Is it one employer or more than one today?
Well, we actually have Mark and Judy are with the Public Education Foundation,
right,
and Rob Adamak from the Marion Regional Manufacturers Association, and they're here today to talk primarily about an initiative that really we're all collaborating on. It's engaging education and how we can get the educational entities as well as our local industry to start working together for a common goal, because we know as the employment landscape has changed, employer needs have changed. And over the years, as employers have had to reduce their staff,
right,
we know from working with those businesses that a job that had a specific job description 5 years ago has changed greatly in the last 5 years.
I bet.
In that a lot of as businesses have downsized, they have had to combine job descriptions and jobs. So, you may have a secretary or an administrative assistant 5 years ago that had their baseline job, but now they may be handling some accounts receivable or accounts payable, some of the back room operations. So what we've seen is really some condensing of jobs. So what we have to try to do is better prepare our workforce to meet those needs.
Okay.
And we know that through public education and, of course, partnering with industry, that helps us identify where those needs are, and then it's up to us to determine where we're going to go with that.
So, Rob, let me ask you, you're involved with manufacturing. Just thumbnail sketch of our community. Do we have a lot of manufacturing here?
Yeah, actually, we have one of the highest percentages of our workforce involved in manufacturing than other counties throughout the state.
Really? Are we doing something to attract that?
Yes, certainly. There's one of the big things is focusing on the education. Along with CareerSource, we've invested in some training software,
right.
And we're trying to get our area known as a place where we have a trained workforce for manufacturing.
So if you're communicating with education, are you kind of like a sports scout? In other words, but not for sports, but for manufacturing or for business in general? Do you kind of ask, hey, who's the star in your class?
Yeah, well, we're very much involved in MTI, the Marion Technical Institute, which is a high school here in Marion County, and we've been involved actually from the beginning when MTI was first formed. We have provided an advisory committee to work with the academy at MTI that focuses on manufacturing. It's Robotics, Automation, and Design Academy. We have held golf tournaments for the last 11 years to raise money for that academy. And for example, this year we're giving that academy $8,500.
Wow!
So that they can buy equipment and software that they need. And the advisory committee meets normally every month, and they meet with the instructor and provide the feedback as far as what the needs of manufacturers are and the education and the preparedness we need with the students in that program.
Mark and Judy, I guess I'll ask both of you, can answer, whoever wants to answer. When I was a kid in school, I changed my mind a few times about what I wanted to do. How early do the teachers, do the guidance people seriously consider what a student says is his or her interest later in life? How early?
Well, that begins, really, career prep begins in elementary school at the appropriate level where you begin talking about different occupations and different potential jobs. But it gets more serious when you get into high school. Yeah. And I think all of our secondary schools have programs where students can and take classes and start preparing themselves for potential career paths. And I'll go back to Rob's statement at MTI, and I was a part of MTI when it began, and it really is. It's a shining example of true partnership between education and the business community, where collaborative planning takes place. And it's a win-win. It's a win for the students, it's a win for the school, and it's a win for the businesses as well, because they have a chance to grow their own. And as you said, we have a chance to keep our local talent local.
You know, we have a garage owner who comes in here on Mondays and does a half-hour show, and he has a hard time finding somebody who has the is it engineering or technician? In other words, he can't just hire a mechanic like in the old days. Somebody the perfect mechanic, as I'll use that word, but I don't think that's what they use anymore, has to have so much more education than the old backyard mechanic used to be able to get a job at the corner garage. That's not true anymore.
Well, that and soft skills, and the soft skills are an important part of it as well, and that's something that takes place at MTI, but it takes place at all of our applied technical programs throughout the county at the various high schools as well. So the students are learning technical background, they're working toward nationally recognized certifications, but they're also getting that soft skill training to hopefully make them a well-rounded employee.
Julia, we see you every year at the Student Media Festival, and it appears from that festival that we have a lot of talent in the media skills. Is there a lot of work here, though, for that?
Well,
I know there's radio stations.
There is some work, but it's actually growing, and the Ocala Film Foundation is working on, again, growing our own. And I was at the school board meeting last night and did a presentation with some of the board of directors for the Ocala Film Foundation, where they are sponsoring student scholarships as well as grants for our TV media production teachers. But one of the goals of that film foundation is to let folks outside of Ocala, Marion County know that we've got great opportunities here and obviously great places to film.
Yeah, right. Oh, so that's part of what you do too.
Yes. We're a very diverse and busy group. But Larry, about a year ago, maybe a little more than a year ago, Mark, who's sitting next to me, he and I and Superintendent George Tommen and Brad Rogers, the editorial writer for the Star Banner, sat down and said, we need a win-win. We need to see how can we continue to increase student achievement. We can get our students prepared for life outside of high school. And then we also wanted that win for Ocala, Marion County. How can we work together with the community to make sure that we're preparing our students for what is available and what might come next? Sometimes we're preparing them for jobs that don't even exist today.
Oh yeah, and how do we know what's coming next?
Right,
that's got to be hard.
Right. So we started this initiative called Engage in Education, knowing that we didn't have all the answers. So we invited the community to come work with us, and we've worked with probably 150 different stakeholders and different groups, and we are meeting again Thursday evening of this week in the Klein Center at the College of Central Florida.
Okay.
At 5:30, and we invite everyone to join us.
Okay. Yeah, and we have this huge horse industry here, and what I've learned from the folks who are in that industry is that a lot of the other industries that have nothing to do with horses actually work side by side with the horse industry. For example, if you're making sandwiches, obviously they need to eat, or if you're repairing, equipment. So it really is a community that kind of is interconnected, I guess is the word, huh? So when we go to Career Source, do you typically find people who need guidance at that point, or are they already set in their mind where they want to go? I'm trying to imagine the kid who's still not sure what he wants to do.
Some people are set and feel pretty confident in the direction they want to go, and a lot of people come in and talk with us because they don't know. And as I said before, the employment landscape has changed so much over the last 5-6 years since the recession that a lot of the folks that were laid off during that time frame, this recession hit from the bottom all the way to the top.
Right.
And typically when you hit some low points in the economy, it affects the lower levels of employment. But this one went all the way up through the ranks. So we've been dealing with some folks that, they've been in their jobs 15, 20, 30 years. And since the last time that they actually had to interview, things have changed a lot.
So another need for the connection with education.
Correct.
So do you see a lot of older students, Judy?
We have many older students through our Career Technical and Adult Education Program, CTAE, where students or older adults can come back and be trained or retrained in order to make sure that they have the proper certifications and qualifications to meet what's happening in the workforce today.
Wow. It must be scary for them, I'm guessing.
A lot of great programs there at CTAE.
We are at the point we need to take a little break for weather, but we'll be right back and continue our discussion. If you have any questions, by the way, go ahead and call. The number is 622-9622. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun, warm and humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around into this evening. The high today 80 to 84. And partly cloudy tonight and becoming more comfortable. Low 58 inland, 64 along the coast. Tomorrow is a nice sunny day with low humidity. The high 78 to 82. And for Friday, mostly sunny. High 78 to 82. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
What you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Talking about ourselves stimulates the brain the same way love, food, and cash do. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. So, on a date, ask her about herself. Adults studying a new language learn words and phrases faster when they sing them. Normal, happy cows produce about 9 gallons of milk a day. But super relaxed and happy cows produce more than 10 gallons.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, 12 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's return now to our discussion with Career Source. Dale French is here from Career Source, and he has invited Rob Adamak, Executive Director of the Marion Regional Manufacturers Association. Mark Vianello is here from Student Services here in Marion County, and Judy Zanetti is here. I know you, Judy. Are you with the school board?
The Public Education Foundation.
Public Education Foundation. All right, so during the break, you kind of mentioned that we need to kind of reiterate the meeting. So if you could kind of do that again, and just kind of, I know you said it, but what is the meeting for, and who would you like to see there?
Okay, Larry. On Thursday evening of this week at 5:30, Engage in Education is meeting in the Klein Center at the College of Central Florida. We start our meeting at 5:30, and we invite everyone that wants to engage in education to come and join us at this meeting. We have been working together with a large group, sometimes up to 100 or 150 people, to try to determine how the school system and the community can work together to increase opportunities for everyone. At the meeting on Thursday, we're going to have a fun interactive presentation, Marion County Public Schools, Everything You Never Knew. Donna Kress from Signature Brands is going to be speaking on the business and school partnerships and how they can work together. And we're also going to break into our work groups. We have 4 work groups that are actively engaged. We have one that's increasing the understanding of funding and budget, improving perception, enhancing communication, and then our 4th work group is foster broader stakeholder engagement. And we know that's the work group that's really going to get to the nuts and the bolts of how the business community and the school system can develop different and new partnerships.
Oh, okay. And I'm guessing there are a lot of things when you say discover what's in the schools, there's a lot that we don't know of.
Absolutely.
And that would lead me to think that a lot of times a parent is more in touch with what a child has as their ambition. So maybe if they know what's available here, a lot of people might be surprised what we have here.
I think so. And our work groups really extended, our focus groups, I should say, really extended beyond parents and students. We did have parent groups and student groups. We had teacher groups, but we also invited the business community, community leaders and volunteers, retirees to come in. And the retiree group was wonderful, Larry. They were really very proactive in wanting to engage in education. It was great to see.
One of the fun things that I think we've learned, Dale, is the culture of the different companies and the different organizations, and how I guess the camaraderie is supported and encouraged, and anything from something like a fundraiser, like the golf tournaments that we were talking about earlier, or even I don't know, maybe a sporting event or something that everybody kind of cheers for. I'm guessing that's true across the board. I mean, it works here at our station. We all get behind something that becomes kind of a team effort. So
yeah, and we're talking today collaboration and engage education, and one of the examples, and Rob will talk a little bit more about it, and why the 3 entities are here today that are here. Is one of the training programs that we're starting for CNC operators, which is computer numerical controls. And that's a huge part of our manufacturing in this area, and we're seeing more and more need. And we actually have businesses that are possibly looking at this area, and we need to make sure that we have the talent that they're going to need. And so I think Rob will talk a little bit more about our CNC training program that was really a collaboration between the Marion Regional Manufacturing Association, Career Source, and not only the Marion Public Education and Marion County School Board, but as well as our other educational partners, the College of Central Florida and Withlacoochee Technical Institute over in Inverness.
Yes, CNC operators are one of the positions where there's the biggest shortage of nationwide. And to explain what it is, it's basically computers that run manufacturing equipment. It could be lathes, milling machines,
amazing
routers, and so on. And so there always were open positions for that. So CareerSource, through grant money, was able to invest over $100,000 in buying this simulator training program. And it's been put into MTI at the high school level, as well as at CF, at CTAE, and the Withlacoochee Technical College. It just changed names yesterday, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So we're very excited about it. It was actually the CEP had asked me to speak to one of the companies that were looking at moving here. They were a machine shop needing CNC employees, and it was because of having this training available. That was one of the main reasons they decided to go ahead and move here.
Okay. We do have a phone call, and if you put your headphones on, you'll be able to hear the caller. And please let me know if you can't, because it means I have to adjust something over there. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Good morning. Real quick, 2 questions. One is, how is the new program going on at Seton Brand with the popcorn industry, the things that they have embarked upon, I guess about a year, maybe a couple or so ago. And the other one is, to your media person there, I guess with the movies and stuff, what happened to TV 51? Hang up and thank you guys for all you do.
Thank you. Yeah, she shrugged. That's why I laughed. You don't know, huh?
No, I really have no
I don't
idea.
either. I don't know what happened either.
I could talk a little bit about Signature Brands. Their factory is doing very well. I talked to their director of manufacturing just last week. And the first year they had their issues with equipment and getting set up, but he told me this year they've almost doubled their production. They do in one shift what it used to take 2 shifts to do.
Oh, really? And is that part of the result of the computer running the equipment?
Yeah, that and getting employees trained and working out some of the bugs on the equipment. So it was a combination of things.
Do you know, years ago, even in this business, we were afraid that computers were going to take over and we weren't going to have a job. The truth is, I use a computer and I'm still here. I'm guessing manufacturing is probably similar.
Oh yeah, the thing that it's done is it's upgraded the skills required, ending in higher paid jobs.
Yeah.
And manufacturing is not the manufacturing of yesteryear. It's high tech, and it's a clean business.
Does it make it more affordable for the manufacturer? And the secondary question would be, does that mean some of the companies that outsource their factories might be moving back?
Oh, that's definitely happening. The United States is still by far has the most productive workforce in the world, and a lot of that is due to the automation that we're able to put in. We work smarter rather than having a lot more people doing it.
Mark, tell me a little bit more about how we can connect with the person listening so that person can better find that path, or maybe change the path if they're not happy with where they are.
Well, a great opportunity to connect with our community would be to come in to tomorrow night's Engage in Education. And as Judy's mentioned, there's been a variety of stakeholders. Everyone in Marion County would like to see Marion County and the school system become better, maximize its potential. But the nice thing about Engage in Education is that it's an opportunity to bring those stakeholders together. So if you're a retiree and you would like to get involved, if you are a business employee, worker, owner that would like to get involved, if you're a parent that would like to get involved, we have work groups that we're ready to have people roll up their sleeves and engage and work collectively to support the most effective school system we can have, which in turn will help support our community.
Oh, wow. And are you looking for volunteers or mentors or anything like that?
Yes. In one of our subgroups, actually, we'll look at how do we increase our mentors.
My goodness.
How do we increase our volunteers? How do we increase internship opportunities for our students and for our businesses?
And you know what comes to mind is, while we have the new computerized generation, the skills and the talent of the retirees are probably still applicable, at least in part, or maybe you could figure out a way to kind of work with. I mean, if somebody's listening right now and they spent 40 years as a mechanic or a welder or something like that, I'm guessing you can't. Well, maybe you can. Do computers do welding now?
Oh, Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
There's robotic welders.
Wow.
Winco has them out at their manufacturing plant
Really?
in town. And you talk about the retirees. That actually one of the key reasons that Signature Brands are doing so much better this year. There was a retired mechanic that had knowledge of their specific equipment.
Oh, really?
That came to work for them, first on a consultant basis, but then he actually became employed by them. So, yeah, retirees have a lot to offer.
Emphasizes the importance of manpower, doesn't it?
Yes.
That kind of story. And I'm guessing that happens all the time, whether you're teaching or learning. I'm guessing, right? So before we run out of time, gosh, we got less than a minute. Any websites we want to give out? Maybe, Dale, maybe you could take it from here?
Yeah. Anybody that's interested in our services, we do have our physical brick and mortar facility over on 14th Street, across from the Winn-Dixie Plaza. And you can also see our other services that are available at our website is careersourceclm.com.
All right, excellent. Everything that was said today has been recorded. It's on the video. It'll be on the WOCA YouTube channel as well as the WOCA Facebook page. So share this information with somebody who will benefit from it. Dale French, thank you for coming in. Rob Adamak, thank you for coming in. Mark Vianello and Judy Zanetti, thank you all for coming in. We will be right back. Thank you.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. We've just gotten details on the second healthcare worker in Dallas who's tested positive for Ebola.
We know that she came down with a fever yesterday, and officials say within 90 minutes she was isolated here at Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas, where she remains being treated right now.
Fox's Casey Stiegel also getting the latest on Nina Pham, the first person infected with Ebola at that hospital.
She's listed in good condition. In fact, the 26